up, YouTube? This is Yo Rob Vlogs. Cars on cars in front of me. We are on our way. We're actually on an adventure. This is the start of an adventure. An all-day adventure up towards Shaver Lake, California. Okay, so here's how it started. Actually, I'm still working on my mic placement, so bear with me if it's not exactly the smoothest. I apologize. Or best quality. There it is. I was catching a lot of wind noise in the first vlog I did, so I went ahead and threw on my chin curtain to try to mask some of that wind noise, or filter out some of the wind noise. Nice sunny day to take out the Gsxr. Lots of pollution in the air. Hazy skies. And the sun is shining hot. See, Cars on Cars likes the lane split on the right side. See, I don't do that. I think it's easier for him. He has a much smaller bike. Also, I'm trying to get down the multitasking of riding and vlogging. It actually takes some skill. A lot of skill. Cars on Cars, what are you doing in the dirt? Oh, that's right, you have a Supermoto. As soon as we make this turn up here, I'll go ahead and give you guys the background on our adventure and what we are about to embark on, what we are trying to find. Also, I haven't been on my bike in about 7 weeks. First time was about yesterday, so I'm a little rusty on things like turning and shifting smoothly. Okay, so here we go. Last time I was in town before I left to school, me and Cars on Car and I, we rode up to Shaver Lake, and we stopped at this parking spot about midway through our ride, and this guy approached us, and he really liked Cars on Cars. He really liked the Supermoto right here. So he stopped. I guess he has a KTM, and so he was, talking about his KTM, Cars on Cars, blah blah blah, talking about his Supermoto, and then they became best friends. And then I was just sitting there with my sport bike, and I was like, hey, what about me? Not, just kidding. So this guy, he works for PG&E, and I guess they have a headquarters up by Shaver Lake or somewhere up there. And he was like, hey, he's like, if you guys ever want to check out a cool ride, he told us these directions to get up by the PG&E headquarters. And then he's like, you're gonna come across the gate. And then he gave us the code to the gate to go onto PG&E's property. Well, as soon as that, the next weekend I had left to school, so Cars on Cars and I were unable to go check that out. So that's what we are doing today. So we're on our way up to Shaver Lake. We don't have the best directions on finding this place, so that's why I'm gonna call it an adventure. But hey, as long as you're on two wheels, it's pretty much impossible not to have fun. Guys, we're about to head up the 4 lanes. I know the wind noise is probably pretty bad right now. This is a pretty windy spot. But this road right here leading up to Shaver is probably one of the funnest roads you could ride in Central California. Great scenery, as long as the pollution isn't too bad. You get to look all down into the valley. Mountains on one side. Tons of wildlife, which is horrible if you're a motorcycle rider. On this road, I had a deer run out in front of me. Probably about 10 to 15 yards in front of me, darted across when I was probably doing 75, 80. One of the closest, or not necessarily closest, but one of the scariest instances I've ever had when riding. And I think that's a sheriff in front of us, so we are gonna cruise. Let's see, you're doing about 70 right now, we're probably good. Yeah, there's a lot of sheriff and CHP unfortunately on this road. But if you look, start to see the view into the valley. When we come back down, you get a much better view. But yeah, we're on our way up to Gsxr. Cars on cars in front of me. And it kind of sucks at the sheriff's right here because we can't really get into these turns like how we want to. But we'll just stick behind him. As we keep climbing up the side of this mountain to get by Gsxr Lake. Kind of looks like we have a police escort right now. Too bad he wasn't on a bike. Maybe I can go ahead and take this time to get into how I started riding. So ever since I was probably about 14, I pretty much had an obsession with sport bikes, or just motorcycles in general. And you know, I was working at the time, but I still lived with my parents, and they said, you know, I had to wait till I was 18 to even get a motorcycle, even though I already had the money, or was in the process of saving money to buy one. And so I had to wait till I was 18 and just, you know, worked throughout those years in high school, saving up money to buy a bike. And so first bike I bought was a 2009 Kawasaki Ninja 250. I started on the 250 because I didn't really have any prior riding experience. I had been on dirt bikes a couple times, but obviously riding dirt and riding street is two completely different things. And plus the insurance was a lot lower, and you know, I felt good about, you know, learning techniques and skills and gathering fundamentals on riding and on a 250. So I had an 09 Ninja 250, bought it used, and I had that bike for about a year, and I absolutely loved it. If I had to do it all over again, I would absolutely start on that 09 Ninja 250. I thought it was definitely a good choice, and I was happy that I did it. And yeah, so after the Ninja 250, I sold that and bought this right here, this 07 GSX-R 750. And this thing, I mean, I absolutely love this bike. I'll keep this till I die, or until it dies. But yeah, 07 GSX-R 750, this is my second bike, and it's absolutely amazing. The power, the handling, the braking, the weight of the bike, it fits me to a glove. It's definitely comfortable. And the people I bought it for, I had known them. I went to school with the daughter. I was friends with the daughter, and I bought this bike. It was actually her mom's bike, believe it or not. Her dad has a 08 GSX-R 1000, and the mom rode this 07 GSX-R 750. And she just, she wasn't riding it really anymore. It was just kind of sitting in the garage. And so I, approached them about, hey, I'd like to buy that bike, and they were all for it. They said sure. So I know it had been taken care of, and it had been ridden by a lady since it was brand new, so it hasn't been abused or redlined, anything like that. So I knew it was in pristine condition. And it's got a Leo Vince slip-on exhaust on it. It's got Pazzo racing levers. It has Sato racing rear sets and the frame sliders. It's got steel braided brake lines. It has a LED light kit that lights up at night. I have gotten pulled over for that, actually. I don't really ride around with that anymore. But yeah, I mean, it was decked out, so I was stoked to be able to get it. There's not a thing I would change on it, and there's not really a thing I would add to it. It had everything done that I would have done to another bike had I bought a stock bike. But yeah, I absolutely love this bike. Cars gave the sheriff a free. He gave him a snake eye. Yeah, so now we're getting up into the forest here. Start getting into these little mini twisties, I guess you could say. But these shadows and stuff always trip me out. Okay, I'm still mastering the writing and vlogging at the same time. Not very good multitasker. Right there. I don't know if you saw the cars that were just oncoming, but there was a truck pulling a trailer with a boat on it, and if you get stuck behind one of those, I mean, it backs up on this because it's just a two-way road. That actually happened to us the last time we came up here. We got stuck behind somebody, and we're going 20 the whole way up. See, right now we're going, I mean, this is alright right now, I guess. Yeah, I probably won't do a lot of talking in the next couple of minutes, so try to enjoy this scenery, forestry, sun is shining, sky is blue, and we're on two wheels. What's not to like about that?